All right, good morning. Welcome to Sunday Morning Yoga Church. It is April 13th, 2025. And today our topic is santosha. So as you know, we are making our way through the 8 limbs of yoga. We are on the second limb, the niyamas, which there are 5. The first one was shaucha, which we covered last week. Santosha is today. Santosha is translated often as contentment, kind of like a general satisfaction with what is, not to be confused with equanimity, which is one of I can't remember what they call them, the paramitas, but in the Buddhist tradition, equanimity and santosha very, very closely related. But while equanimity is maintaining calm and composure in the face of difficulties, santosha is actually the difference is santosha is actually trying to cultivate some joy, trying to cultivate joy in the present moment, just regardless. So calm and composure, joy, I mean, you can see how they're in the same family. So we're going to cultivate some joy today in half moon pose. I'm going to have you start on your back. If you have access to blocks, that would be great. 2 would be ideal. And if you don't have 2 blocks, you can use a chair. I'll show you what I'm talking about when we get there. I'd like you to have a strap for these first several minutes of the practice as we get some attention and blood and prana flowing in our hips and our hamstrings. And then access to a wall. And as I was saying earlier before we started recording, you don't need to put your whole body against the wall. You don't need that much space, but you need enough space to place your hands onto the wall and then step your feet back into a 90-degree angle in the hips. That'll all make sense in a little bit. So for now, on your backs, let your knees bend if that feels good, or if you'd rather straighten your legs, go for it. I just want you to take a couple of breaths, dropping in to the cushion of your sticky mat, the support of the floor underneath you. Dropping into the vehicle of your body. Opening up your internal scope, turning on the little internal headlamp and sending that scope all the way down to your toes, your feet and ankles. Moving up the limbs of the legs, the knees, the thighs, the hips, just looking for tight spots, sticky spots, icky spots, any places that might require a little additional TLC today. And keep bringing that scope upwards up along your spine to your shoulders. Expand out through your arms, elbows, wrists, hands, and fingers. And scoping up into the shoulders once again, the neck, the throat, the jaw, and taking a peek at what's happening upstairs in the mind. And then, become aware that you're breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. And give yourself one more deep, rich, intentional breath. Great. And then bend your knees if they're not. Set your feet to the floor. Bring your right knee to your chest. Circle your toes 3 times in each direction. Unfurl your strap. Take your strap over the ball of your right foot. Send your right heel up to the ceiling. Spread your toes. Flex your foot. Take a good look at your foot and notice if you're pronating or supinating. Notice if the foot's kind of sickling inward or outward. And I'd like you to visualize the inseam of your leg and lengthen the inseam of your leg. So maybe you draw the outer edge of your foot, the pinky toes, back towards your outer shin, and that could just be a fantasy, more so than a literal movement. Excellent. If it feels good for you to take your left leg down to the floor, you are welcome to do so. Don't do anything that strains your body, your hips, or your pelvis, or your legs. Take your left arm out to the left, and you're going to sweep your right leg out to the right, just about 2/3 of the way to the floor. We're not trying to hit the floor. Drop your outer left hip to the mat and feel how that subtle move broadens across the front of your pelvis between the two hip points, between the two ASIS. Engage your core muscles and drop your low back in the direction of the floor. And from that place, bring your right leg up. But we're going to change hands with the strap, and we're not going to go into a full twist, though. I want you to just take your right leg about 4 or 6 inches to the left. You're just going to go slightly across the midline. And one, you can either keep your right arm, take your right arm out to the right on the floor, or you can use your right thumb. You can hook it in the hip crease and give yourself some manual traction, taking your outer right hip away from your ribs, and at the same time, pressing your right hip down towards the floor. So pressing forward and down, and then really flexing that right foot, pushing away from your body through the right heel, and once more, bringing that awareness to the inseam of your leg. Great. And then bring your right leg up once more to vertical. And I want you to shimmy the strap to your heel. You just shimmy it down just a few times and get a really good purchase of the strap over your heel. And then as you hold onto the straps with your right hand, push your right heel up. And let's find this opposing action of pressing up through the right heel, pulling down through the straps, anchoring your femur bone more deliberately into the hip joint, into the hip socket. Good. Beautiful. Now, you're going to keep your leg elevated. Keep that foot flexed just the way it is. And I want you to take your arms over your head. Let go of the strap and sweep the arms up over your head. Both feet are active. Excellent. Take your arms out like a T. Okay, and keeping your tush anchored to the floor, left leg anchored to the floor, take your right leg out to the right. We're not trying to hit the floor, just go just a little bit. Good, 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 good. And then I want you to visualize your right foot on the floor, your right hand on the floor, which would be on a block. Visualize your left leg elevated in space, your left arm elevated in space, and voila, you're in a supine half moon pose, Supta Ardha Chandrasana. Engage your core, breathe in, pull your right leg back up. Beautiful. Bend your right knee to your chest, give yourself a hug. Well done. Ah, good. Let's change legs. Set your right foot to the floor, left knee comes to your chest. And we'll start with just some gentle circles in the right toes. Snap, crackle, pop, waking up the toes, the foot, the ankle. Go both ways. Great. Take the strap over the ball of your left foot. And you know the drill. Left leg goes up. Supta Prangushtasana is the name of this sequence. Ah, that's a classic. It's one of those solid gold hits. Love it, love it, love it. When I think about santosha and finding joy just in the little moments, I can't help but think I don't drink a whole lot of caffeine, coffee, for obvious reasons. I think I have enough of that kind of energy. But when I do take my first sip of coffee, I can't help but moan. It's kind of like oh my gosh, it's just, I don't know, there's something about the whole sensory experience, the smell, the warmth, the richness, the little bit of cream. It's just like, oh, it's such a simple thing, right? Such a simple thing, a cup of coffee. But man, when I treat myself to it, it's just like, wow, there is a moment of joy, just unbridled joy. Now, how can I cultivate that, in all of the moments of my day? I want you to take your right arm out to the right, and let's take the left leg out to the left. Good. If you want to stretch the right leg down, that's your prerogative. And I'll give you that instruction again of placing some awareness into the inseam of the left leg. Nothing more satisfying than that first sip of coffee. Mm. Spread your toes, and your outer right hip wants to make its way to the floor. You might feel a corresponding broadening across the front of the pelvis as well as a broadening across the front ribs. Okay, this is where the muscle activation of our core comes into play. Dip your low back in the direction of the floor, and from there, the left leg, excuse me, comes up to vertical. Change hands with your strap, and this is where we employ that manual traction. You take your left leg about 4, 5, maybe 6 inches to the right. The strap's in your right hand now. Either left arm out to the left to act as a counterbalance, or the left thumb can hook into the hip crease, shearing the left outer hip forward away from the ribs and down. So it's certainly easy to find santosha in the first sip of coffee, or the first blossoms on the peach trees, or I think in Maxine's case, that would be the cherry blossoms out there in DC. But the first blossoms of spring, the first robins of spring, the hummingbirds are coming. So there's always great joy in that. But how to find joy just in the mundane? It's a bit more challenging. And check in with your jaw. Blah, 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 blah. Let's take the left leg straight up to vertical once more. And this is where you're going to shimmy the strap to your heel. And then really push the heel up into the strap. And you can take the strap back into your left hand, give your right hand a bit of a break. Lengthening the inseam of both legs, pushing up through the inner left heel, pushing forward through the inner right heel. And now I'm going to have you take your arms up over your head, keep the left leg lifted, let go of the strap. Okay, so here we are in warrior three, right? Supine warrior three. Excellent. Feel your entire back body, the parts of you that are on the floor. Now take your arms out like a T. And here you go. Left leg goes out to the left. Keep that right hip on the floor. Great. And here we are in a supine half moon pose. Your left foot would be on the floor. Left hand would be on a block on the floor. Right arm is elevated. Right leg is elevated. Beautiful. Good. Engage the belly. Bring the left leg back up. Whoa! Excellent. Bend the left knee to your chest. Nicely done, everyone. Good opening sequence. We're going to have you bring both knees into your chest and do what feels good here. You want to just rock, you want to just hug, you want to circle your legs, go for it. Just we'll spend about 20 seconds, 30 seconds taking the opportunity to listen to the desires of the bod. And then I'm going to have you, when you're ready, set your feet to the floor, bring the insteps of your feet together, drop your knees out. So you're coming into a supine bound angle pose. Knees are bent. Drop the knees out. So really broadening again the front of the pelvis, broadening the front ribs, and also lengthening the inner thighs, the AD adductors. You can take your arms wherever they can be comfortable and feel a sense of ease. I got to thinking about how do we bring santosha into our week in such a crazy and tumultuous climate in our world, in our country, and certainly in the state of Oklahoma right now. And I came across this one definition of santosha as actively engaging in action, actively engaging in action, taking action while maintaining a sense of satisfaction with the process, even when outcomes are uncertain. So right there, I can ask myself, am I engaging? Am I taking an action that I can do? Can I be okay with I am taking action, however seemingly small, but I am taking action? And then cultivating a sense of satisfaction based on the fact that I am taking action, even though the outcomes are most certainly uncertain. I don't think anybody knows how this is going to end. Pull your knees back together, please. Give yourself one more hug. And that finishes up the floor sequence. Check in with your jaw one more time. Lot of tension going on right now. All week long, all week, all month, all year. And then I'm going to have you bring your feet to the floor. Come on to your hands and your knees, taking any pathway to get there. Have your blocks near the top of your mat. We're done with the strap. You can set it off to the side. We'll just start out with a few cat-cows, undulating the spine, using breath to initiate and guide the movement. And on these next couple of rounds, we'll bring child's pose into it. So after you breathe in and find the cow, then you'll rock back into child's pose, balasana. Pull yourself forward to staff as you inhale and downward dog as you exhale. And let's repeat that little mini flow, that little mini vinyasa 2 more times. So a total of 3. Cosmo, looking good. Cow pose on the in breath, child's pose on the out breath. Staff pose, breathing in, and we'll all meet in downward dog after you've done that 3 times. And I'm going to invite you, if you have access to 2 blocks, I'm going to invite you to put a block under each hand in downward dog. Just put them on their lowest height and make sure they're on your sticky mat so that they do indeed stick and they don't slide out from underneath you. And then place your hands on the blocks. And when I've been doing this, I've been taking my blocks as wide as the mat. I like the space that allows in my shoulders, but that's me. You try it and see what feels good for you. So if you don't have the 2 blocks, don't sweat it. So if you're on the blocks, notice if this provides you more access through the back of the legs. And like I was saying, maybe a little more access in the shoulder girdle. And I'm going to have you bring your right foot forward. So however you want to get it up there, take your right foot up to your right hand. Bring your left knee down. And I'm going to have you take your blocks, if you've got 2 blocks, take them on their second or maybe even their tallest height and draw your blocks back so they're next to your, they're in line with your hips. So when you set your fingertips to the blocks, you got ears, shoulders, hips, and blocks all in the same plane. And at this point, we're going to do this just easy little flow. As you breathe in, guide your right knee forward. So you come into a little deeper, low lunge. That's the in-breath. And as you exhale, you're going to rock your hips back, straightening your right leg, and let yourself bow forward slightly. The blocks are going to stay put. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Plant your right foot to the floor, send the right knee forward. Pelvis sinks a little closer to the floor. And on the exhale, draw the hips back, bow down over the right leg. Good. 1 more time, please. Gliding forward on the in-breath. Nice. And then rocking back. Stay put when you rock back. We're going to stay for a couple of breaths. I want you to glance up at your right foot and notice if it's sickling inward. I'd like you to flex the foot, really like put the pressure on the heel, like you're slamming down the brakes. Draw the toes back. And draw the outer right hip back. If you remember when we were lying down and you had your thumb in the hip crease. Now just do that intellectually. Hey, Rachel. Excellent. Now you're going to breathe in, send the right knee forward once again. Woo-wee. And then stack your hands on top of your right knee, lift your chest up, take your arms forward. And then 3 times as you breathe in, left arm sweeps back. And forward as you exhale. 2 more times. I want you to watch your right knee. As your left arm goes back, does your right knee drop inward? You're going to have to use those outer thigh and hip muscles to keep that right knee gently moving to the right. Good. 1 more time. And exhale, left arm forward. Beautiful. Hands to your blocks. You're going to place your blocks to the inside of your right foot. I'm going to take my left hand block down a notch. Left hand to the block. I'm going to sweep the right arm up over my head. So a side bend. Check out your right knee. Gently coax it to the right. It's like you're pulling your ribs and sternum away from your right leg. Excellent. And then bring both hands to your blocks. You're going to lift your back knee up and step back to downward dog. Take 2 breaths in dog pose, feeling any differences in the hips, the legs, the shoulders. And step your left foot forward, bring your right knee down. Okay, so block people, draw your blocks back. You're going to draw them back. It might feel awkward. They're so far back, but I want you, when you lift your chest, I want your ears, shoulders, hips, and blocks to be all on the same plane. And then here we go. As you inhale, you sink the pelvis a little closer to the floor, glide the left knee forward. And on the exhale, straighten the left leg and give yourself a little bow over the left knee. You're going to do that 2 more times, a total of 3. Go at the pace of your breath. And while you're doing this, is this side any different than the right side? What's showing up for you? And maybe we can cultivate just a little sense of joy that, I am aware of my body. No, maybe it doesn't work the way it did 25 years ago, but I can move it today. When you finish that 3 times, you'll bring your hands to your left knee, lift your chest up, take arms forward, and now we're going to open twist to the right. Right arm goes back on the in-breath and forward on the out-breath. Good. Really expanding through the ribs and the sternum as you open and exhale. Is that dog hair on my shirt? Probably. Give it one more time. Hands are going to come to the blocks. You're going to bring the blocks to the inside of your left foot. I'm going to keep my the right hand on the block. And then the left arm is going to go up and over. Side bending, really opening up through the left ribs. There's even a little bit of a back bend happening, a little extension in the spine. Big expansiveness through the ribs, front ribs especially. Good. And left hand comes down to the blocks. And you're going to pick your right knee up as you tuck the right toes and step back to downward dog. Excellent. Good. I want you to float your right leg up and keep the right leg straight, but roll the hip back. And then really elevate that right heel away from the floor. Nice. Very good. Very good. Very good. So imagine this is your 3-pointed half moon pose. Both legs active. Nice. Square the hips and then step your right foot forward. And you're going to spin your back heel down. We're going to start with that same flow. So hands to your blocks. I've got mine on the tallest level. You do you. With the right knee bent, you inhale and look forward. Anchor that back foot to the mat. As you exhale, draw the hips back, straightening the right leg, and bow forward. And here we go, 2 more times, breathing in. And breathing out. Good, breathing in. And breathing out, and let's stay. Oh, you know what? I don't think I held the left side when we were on our back knee. We'll hold the left side for a few extra breaths. Okay, now how about peeling the right toes up off the mat? Flex the foot. Notice if that changes anything in the hamstrings. Draw that outer right hip back. Okay, great. Set your right foot to the floor, bend the right knee. You can set the blocks to the side for a moment. I'm going to have you sweep your arms forward and up into Warrior One. And then open your arms out to the sides into Warrior Two. Good. Take your left hand down and sweep the right arm up, reversing your warrior. Bring your right elbow to your right knee, left arm over your left ear, side angle pose. Terrific. I want you to take both hands to your blocks, turning your torso towards the floor. Bring your blocks to the inside of your right foot. And then you're going to stretch your arms off to the left on a diagonal. You take your torso with you. So it's like your torso and your arms are in a downward dog. I want you to keep pulling that right knee back to the right. And you're arcing, angling your right ribs away from the right knee. Fantastic. Beautiful. Walk your hands and blocks back to the mat. Lift your back heel. Step back to downward dog. All right, and this is it. This is it for the prep. Take your left leg up and keep the leg straight. And then roll your hip back. You're really sending your heels in opposite directions. Left heel up, right heel descending. Toggle your mandible from side to side a couple times. Square your hips, step your left foot forward. Right heel comes down to the mat. Breathing in, look forward. Good, hands to the blocks. Exhale, take your hips back, straightening the left leg. Woo-wee, that wakes up. Inhale, glide forward. And exhale, rock back. One more time. Breathing in. Good, rock back, breathing out, and we're gonna stay put. Outer left hip draws back. Instep of the left foot moves down. So a lot of times I just focus on the outer hip and the mound of the big toe. And I try to find that diagonal line from the outside hip across the front of my leg down to the mound of the big toe. Actively engaging in action while maintaining a sense of satisfaction with the process, even when the outcomes are uncertain. Bend your left knee, please. Good. Hands off the blocks. You're going to sweep yourself up to warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. Good. Nice. And then open out to the right, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Watch that left knee. Nice. Right arm down, left arm up, reversing your warrior. Left elbow, left knee, right arm, either right arm straight up or over the ear. Whatever your shoulder allows. Whatever feels good for you in this moment, on this day. Don't push, don't force. When we push, we constrict, we become rigid. It's like the body goes into a defensive crouch. Good. Now you're going to bring hands down to your blocks. And here's where we're going to do that kind of side bendy thing. Bring the blocks to the inside of the left foot. And then you're going to start walking the blocks to the diagonal out to the right. Back foot is anchored to the floor. Left knee is moving to the left. And the left ribs and the left arm are moving away from the left leg, moving to the right. Excellent. Leave your blocks where they are. Bring your hands to the mat. Come on to the ball of your back foot. We're going to take downward dog one last time. Good. Hands to the mat. Now either stay in down dog, hit your knees for child's pose, or come forward to staff and give yourself a vinyasa. Bringing your body down to the floor slowly and deliberately. Finding a back bend that suits you on this morning. Cobra, up dog, maybe locust pose, shalabhasana. Take a breath or two. Fantastic. And then make your way back to downward dog. Walk your feet to your hands. And slowly roll yourself up to standing. So in my study on santosha this week, I came across another really great little article. I'll see if I can dig it up. I can't remember the name of it, the website, but I'll see if I can dig it up and include it in the class link. And the author gave 7 steps to santosha. And I'm like, I love a list. So step number 1 is breathe. Step number 2 is assess. Assess the situation. What's happening? Focus on the facts. What's happening? What are the facts? Step number 3, feel. Feel your emotions. Feel into it. Step number 4, consider your choices. Try to take a step back, look at the whole thing, the whole picture. What are the choices? Step 5 is act. Take action. 6, let go. Let go of the results of the action. And step 7, we breathe. I love that. Just comes full circle. Take a breath. Assess, feel, consider, act, let go, and breathe. All right, there you go. 7 steps to santosha. Okay, now here's where we come into half moon pose. You're going to have 2 blocks and you're going to have a wall. So we're going to start without the blocks. I just want you to have them nearby. You're going to stand and face your wall. About maybe 3 feet away, 4 feet away. Hard to say. It's going to be different for everyone. But I'm going to have you place your hands to the wall. And then walk your feet back until you can be at about a 90-degree angle in your hips. Okay. I'm going to have you inch your left foot just a little to the right. So the left foot is more center than to the left. And then you're going to float your right leg straight back. We're not going for height. We're just trying to find that parallel line. Right leg parallel to the floor. Now draw that outer left hip back and pull that left femur bone, that thigh bone back away from the wall. At the same time, pull your ribs out of your pelvis and push your hands into the wall. Good. Is your right foot flexed? Activate the right foot. Beautiful. Step the right foot down, move your hips. Wiggle, wiggle. All right, we're going to go right into the other side. So inch your right foot a little to the left, so it's a little more central, and you're going to float your left leg up. So now, if you don't need to have a wall, right? You can put your hands on a desk top, a counter, maybe the back of a chair. Good. Activating that left foot and pushing that right thigh bone back, taking that outer right hip back. Imagine, in fact, you might even take your right thumb into the hip crease and pull the right hip back. Step down, move your hips. We're going to do this one more time, facing this direction. If you have blocks, bring a block to the floor in front of you. Okay. And then hands to the wall again. We're going to start with the left leg. Sorry, we're going to start with the right leg. Right leg floating up and back. Doesn't matter. Start with whichever leg, because we're going to do both. Right leg up and back. Now either stay here or left hand comes down, grab the block, slide the block a little to the left, and then start to roll your right hip back. Like you're broadening the pelvis, opening the pelvis to the right. You can walk your right fingertips up the wall slightly and just have your fingertips to the wall, not the whole hand. Maybe right hand comes off the wall. Up to you. The wall is right there for you to use. Take another breath. Good. And then you're going to square your torso to the floor, bringing your left hand back to the wall, and step your right foot down. Let's go into the other side. Left foot floats up. Good. And remember your options. You can stay here, or Right hand grabs the block, take it to the right, and then you can begin to open the left hip, roll the left hip back, broadening the pelvis to the wall at your left. Good. Inch your left fingertips up the wall, and then maybe left fingertips away from the wall for a second, and then touch the wall again. Just playing with balance. Very nice, everybody. Good. Square your hips to the floor. Turn your chest towards the floor. Right hand back to the wall, and left foot steps down. Move your hips. And then push yourself off the wall. Both blocks, we've got one more to go. Okay, this is the crux of the class, as they would say. So both blocks to the floor. I'm going to go on the tallest height just to give lots of access. You do you, because you can always move them down as we go. And now we're going to take a second here before we get rolling to assess where we are in relationship to the wall. I'm facing away from the wall. Now I have my butt to the wall. And I want you to take your right leg back just so that you can get your foot to the wall. And just pause for a moment, just assessing. I want right leg straight if possible, left leg straight if possible. And then that's great. Step down again. And here we go. The piece de resistance. Hands to your blocks. I've got my hands a little wider than my feet. I'm going to put my weight into the left leg and float the right leg back. This is door number 1. Door number 2, turn the right toes, a quarter turn to the right, opening the pelvis, opening the front of the pelvis to the right. Okay. Door number 3, right hand to the waist. Door number 4, right arm straight up. Push into the wall with that right heel and the instep of the right big toe. Bring your right hand to your waist. Place your right hand to your block. Spin on your right heel so your toes face the floor, point to the floor, and then step down. Woo-wee! Move your hips from side to side. Boom, chakalaka. Boom, chakalaka. Let's go to the other side. Y'all are doing great. Here we go. Put your weight into your right leg, and your left leg will float back and find the wall. Now notice, maybe you need to step forward or back. Not at all uncommon for the legs to be just a little different in length. Left foot finds the wall. We're going to take it one step at a time, y'all. Standing firm and strong on that right leg. This is door number 1. Door number 2, turn the left toes a quarter to the left, turning your pelvis, opening your pelvis to the left. Door number 3, left hand to your waist. This is a great place to pause. Just stop here. Investigate your feet, the 4 corners of your feet. Active against the floor, active against the wall. Good. Breathe. Assess. Feel. Consider your choices. Maybe left arm goes up. Maybe not. Take action. Let go of the results. And breathe. Great. Left hand to your waist. Left hand to your block. Turn your left toes down and step down. Wowza, wowza. Beautiful. I'm going to have you place one block on its second height behind you. Take your feet as wide as the mat and turn your toes out slightly. We're going to come into Malasana. Sinking the hips down until you can have a seat on that block. And if that's a screamer on the knees, Use two blocks and put them on their tallest height, side by side, so that you can squat down and get both sitting bones on the blocks. I want you to bring your hands to your knees, lift your spine, lift your sternum up out of your pelvis. Take your head back slightly, look up. Great, look forward, bring your elbows to the inside of your knees. Palms in prayer, Namaskar Mudra. Press your knees into your elbows and push your elbows into your knees. Eyes looking straight ahead. Bring your fingertips to the floor. I want you to lift your hips up halfway. Knees are still bent. Move the blocks off to the side. Heel toe your feet towards one another. Plop down on your bottom and roll onto your back. Well done, everyone. Thanks for playing today. That was a good one. Ain't nothing easy about half moon pose. Even with the props. Sometimes the props can make things more challenging as we become more aware of discrepancies in the body. Come onto your back, and then I want you to pull your knees to your chest. Cross your right leg all the way over your left leg, thigh over thigh. Supine Gomukhasana. Good, and you can keep your hands to your knees or inch your hands down your shins, or maybe take your hands to your ankles or your outer feet. When we look at santosha, we're also invited to look at a parigraha. If you remember a parigraha from our dive into the yamas, a parigraha means without clinging or hoarding or grasping. So when we look at santosha, we can ask ourselves, what am I clinging to? Am I clinging to joy? Am I clinging to sadness, loss, desire, resentment? Or am I pushing these away, not wanting to feel? I don't want to feel loss. I don't want to feel pain. When we rely on external circumstances to make us feel good in ourselves, and then we're going to continue to be bound to discontentment. And so whether we are experiencing pain or joy, loss or gain, can we maintain a sense of I'm actively engaged with the sensation, with the emotion, with the feeling? Maintaining a sense of satisfaction with the process. And all the while, I know this is temporary. The good and the bad. The good and the not so good. I want you to uncross your legs and take your left thigh on top. And there's that great story, the good luck, bad luck story. So a farmer who lives way out in rural land in a little village, a bevy, a group, a plethora, a herd of wild horses gallops onto his land, and all the villagers come around the farm and say, oh, what good luck you have. Oh my gosh, what good luck, what good fortune you have. Look at all these beautiful horses. And the farmer just says, good luck, bad luck. Who knows? He's Yiddish. And then about a week later, his eldest son is trying to train one of the horses, and he gets thrown and terribly injured. All the villagers gather around the house. Oh, what terrible misfortune. Oh, what bad luck these horses have brought you. Oh, you should get rid of them. This is such bad luck. And the farmer says, good luck, bad luck. Who knows? About a week later, the army comes marching through the villages and they want to take all the boys into a war that no one believes in. Well, the son is spared because he's injured. All the villagers rally around the farmer. Oh, what good luck you have. What great fortune you have. Ah, your son is spared. The farmer's like, good luck, bad luck. Who knows? I could go on, but I won't. You get the drift. Uncross your legs. Bring your knees to your chest. Take your arms out like a T and let your knees fall to the left. And take your knees to the right. Take your time. Bring your knees to your chest once more. Yeah. If you want to stay to the left a little bit, Maxine, you can. And let yourself either be still, rock, roll, circle, anything you need to finish up the practice. And consider what Shavasana is going to look like for you, whether that's flat on the floor in the traditional way, or maybe legs up the wall or over an ottoman, or if you've got access to bolsters and all the good bougie props that we love in the West. Get yourself set up into a shape that brings you a sense of satisfaction. A job well done. Into a shape where you can just hit the pause button and find moments of joy in each passing moment. I love the doggy yoga. Joy in the ability to breathe, joy in the ability to move, joy and satisfaction, just general contentment. It doesn't even have to be like great joy, like yeehaw, but just contentment in the ability to show up, appreciating where you are, how far you've come, whether that's on the mat or out in the world, and all that we have to look forward to, even in the midst of great uncertainty. I'm going to encourage you, if you have the time, to stay in Shavasana for another 5 or 10 minutes. Otherwise, the rest of us are going to start moving fingers and toes, stretching arms and legs. Making your way to a seated position. And then we'll bring palms together. Base of thumbs to the forehead. Contentment in our mind. Bring your fingertips down to your lips. May we express contentment and joy in our words and our communication. And then placing the hands at the heart, may we feel a sense of contentment and satisfaction in our bodies and joy in our spirits. Thank you. I appreciate so much each of you logging on to the screen this morning. Those of you who are getting the replay, hope you enjoy the practice.